Hi everyone, sorry about the lighting. I thought, my cat Daisy is here. Say hi, Daisy. I thought I would show you my WildWood Tarot. Speaking of nature, and it's very earthy deck, and this is what the box looks like. And it's only quite affordable. It's very, for me, this is very affordable for $22.95 Canadian. Sometimes they also have sales, but I really need to get a reading done, and so I didn't have any of the cards with me. Instead of going all the way back home and then back again, I picked up this because the Shadowscapes was really crazy. It was like $40-something. Hi, Daisy. Don't mind my cat Daisy there. Hey, don't eat. Sorry, she's eating the bag here. You silly cat. You're gonna... That's a bag. Alright, so this is the box. And it has a notch. It's quite a big box, if you can see here. It's almost as big as my cat. Hey, Daisy. She's shy. You're gonna have my cat in the background. I hope that's alright. So if you open it up, it comes in this two-part kind of case that goes in like that, and you have two piles of this card deck. From far away, it looks like a Pokeball, kind of deconstructed, but it's like a druid symbol of nature, I believe. It's very nice and intricate. I like it. It's a minimal design there. I know the older versions don't have this backing, so it's a nice touch. And it has WildWood Tarot on there, delving deeper into magic of the Wildwood, with exclusive video clips from authors Mark Ryan and John Matthews. So if you go to edisonbooks.com/wildwood, they're going to have those extra videos, which I didn't know about actually. There's a 160-page illustrated guidebook along with 78 cards. The card stock is very nice. It's very easy to flip through. I do find that it's a little bit bendable as well, but it's sturdy. The artwork reminds me of the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. 90s is when I grew up, so I'm a bit of an older person. And it reminds me of the nostalgic fairy tale like Robin Hood and the fairy tale type of illustrations, but very earthy, very grounding. It has a very strong energy as well. Very like druid paganism and some shamanistic aspects of nature there, as you can see with this hooded man instead of the hermit. And it's a very strong, I felt like it had a much stronger energy than those cheap piles of tarot decks that are very like the minimalist ones are interesting as well, but I feel like they're lacking that substance, and this definitely has that substance. So it's a pretty hefty book. It comes with 160 pages, and this is what one of the pages look like. So it delves into like the different spreads, as well as the Wheel of the Year, which is very pagan for me, I believe. And I'm learning these things. It's very ancient types of nature here. And this is the layout of how the card is explained with a quote, the description, the meaning, and we have more keywords at the bottom. There's different reading points as well, with regards to if it's a person, place, or a process. And it divides the suits into arrows. So arrows is swords, and I believe wands are bows, and then there is stones for earth, and vessels for cups. And then we have as well different spreads here. As we see, this is the bow spread with a meaning. I have done this in other people's readings, and it was very relevant to them. We also have this other longer spread called the World Tree spread, and that was very fascinating as well. I found that very insightful. And the reason why I have my cards in two piles is they do have a meditation here to do so that you can get in touch with your cards, so that you'll get to know the deck and easily better interpret it, because it is slightly different meaning than the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. It has its own kind of twist on the meanings of the cards. So they did also alter some of the names. For example, the Fool is the Zero, the Wanderer. So I just want you to take a look at the art. I think I'm not usually gravitating towards this kind of deck, but you know, because I'm more into the fluffy stuff, but this is a very strong pull for me, and I needed a deck at the time. So this is the Ancestor, and I grew to like it a lot. The Pole Star, King of Arrows, Kingfisher. It has a very like watercolor, but at the same time really strong earth-based feel to it. The energy is very strong. Queen of Arrows, Swan. And we have the Knight of Arrows, Hawk. So just giving you a picture of the images here. The wren is so adorable. There's some snowy ones. Look at this badass archer. Yes, surrounded by all those white dogs. So cute. So badass at the same time. It does remind me a lot of, like, definitely, like, paganism, druid-like things. The stag. Well, I'm gonna see if I can turn on the light, and maybe that will better. I hope we can see this alright. 1 second. Oh, I just had electricity there. Static. The Lovers. I'm just gonna flip through them so you'll see. Some people may not like this kind of artwork, but I think this is also very grounding and powerful. Green Man. So there's the, I don't know if it's Wiccan or Pagan, but there's the Green Woman. There's also, I heard like one of the authors, if I'm not mistaken, let me see here, draw inspiration from pre-Celtic mythology, belief systems steeped in shamanic mysteries. There we go. King of Bows, Adair. I'm gonna need to know this deck. I can kind of read intuitively, but I still look at the book. Queen of Bows here. Majestic here. The Fox. I'm just gonna flip through them so you can look at the art. The Woodward. I think there might be, I'm not sure if this is Emperor. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. The Blasted Oak. Oh, this is like the tower. With like the fire, and instead of a tower, it's a tree. An oak tree for that matter, which is very like a sacred ancient tree. The Mirror. Oh, this is gorgeous. One of my friends who saw this is like, oh, that's so beautiful. I was like, I agree. Looks like a mermaid there. Okay, herein. These are the main characters, I guess, of this deck. You know, Salmon. And they all have similar meanings to Rider-Waite, but it is very, like it says, like shamanic, pre-Celtic kind of mythology, like of the Arthurian legends and all that. There's an eel as well. Cute otter. I find this deck very grounding and very mysterious. The wheel, unlike the Work Your Light, which is very galactic. You know, I would definitely need to ground myself after working with a deck like that. The Guardian. Some people might be disturbed by the images. For example, there's some half animal heads and half human, and then there's the journey here, which is plucking off the tendril and blood off of a carcass. But this is like steep in symbolism. The other week I saw like a dozen crows or ravens. The Hooded Man. We have a wolf. A bear. A horse. a link. So you can see that it is not. It's definitely very earthy. I think this is very masculine friendly deck as well. Look at Daisy cleaning herself. This is a masculine friendly deck as well, and very, like, because of its earth based, it's not too girly or fluffy like the Work Your Light Oracle, and it's steeped in nature. And I love the fact that it's steeped in myth and legends. There's a lot of magic in that because nature is such an ancient power. Definitely nothing to be messed with. I'm thinking as well of the Fae Oracle deck and like Josephine Wall's Nature Whispers, but like they're two very different flavors, right? Brian Froud is an artist that really depicts, I think, Fae in all its aspects, beyond just all beautiful and cutesy like pixies. There's beyond that. There's a lot of different other nature elementals. I believe the Great Bear, the World Tree. Not everyone will be attracted to earthy decks, but I've always loved kind of nature-based themes. The Shaman. Oh, I like this too. The Seer. And then we have the Moon on Water. These are the major arcanas, as well as the other court cards. The Sun of Life. Okay, so there you have it. I divided it into two piles because it is for my meditation thing at the end, to get to know the deck. And now we'll move on to the rest of the cards. So, very easy to shuffle, as you can see. Like, so smooth. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's not matte, like, luxurious, but it is still, like it's not a glossy finish either, which I appreciate. It's like a matte. Look at that. It's the bows, which is the wands. I'll just go through the cards here. Stones is earth. that the ancient shamanistic symbol in the cave there. And it gives you a keyword as well, like for example, 8 of Vessels, rebirth, which is cups. This is swords, arrows. She looks so bored. Vessel. More arrows. This definitely reminds me of Robin Hood fairy tale. I loved reading fairy tales growing up. Oh, so cute. And if you notice close enough, the rocks have details in them too. Ouch. So it's Reiki healing, shamanic healing. We don't know. Very mysterious. Is he alive? Is he unconscious? Is he deceased? Who knows? As you can see, there are markings and carvings here. It's very fascinating. Some people might be who like fluffy decks, like I usually am into fluffy decks, but I find this has such a power, like a earthy power to it. Definitely strong energy compared to other decks that are just, I call them like the aesthetic decks. This is aesthetic in its own way. It can be frightening to some though. Just like nature is has its both it has I don't know, I can't describe it. It has its very grounded, like, there's so much power in the earth and nature. See how she's blending there into like the roots of a tree. So this was made by Mark Ryan and John Matthews, and Will Worthington is the artist. Stone. Some people might be like, not for me, it's too earthy for me. Some people really like fantastical, which I usually like fantastical, but this one to me is just like the energy I can feel off of the deck, attraction. So some people may be disturbed by this, animal heads with human bodies, and to me, I'm not disturbed by that at all. I like nature in both good and bad. You know, I respect nature. It's so powerful. We have a goat? Yeah, I think it's a goat. Oh no, the goat. As you can see, there's a divine feminine and divine masculine carved on the stone there. I think it's very symbolic. Hares boxing. Some more herons. So, man. A very Renaissance, like medieval. Actually, in my past life, I just learned something about being in an era like that, and I wonder if I delved into, you know, nature or paganism or witchcraft. That would be so cool. Like, it has such an interesting storybook kind of style, like an old school 90s, like the shading and the watercolors remind me a lot of books growing up and reading fairy tales with art that looks just like this. Okay, and that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm actually gonna pick maybe 3 cards, past, present, and future, for today, since you guys are here. I will do a side shuffle. Oh, they shuffle so well. As you can see, it's like butter. Like, it has a texture to it, but it's a smooth texture. Like, it's not like super luxury matte finishes. It's like, it has like a semi-matte finish, but it's like butter when you, like, it just shuffles so well. And I shuffle this, I try to shuffle it very reverently. I feel like this deck, all my decks, of course, is a reverence, but this one, such an ancient feel to that. Okay. Alright, for us, guys, let's see. For this deck. Oh no! I'll have to take out the cards again for the meditation part. We have 5 of arrows. Frustration. I bet this person keeps missing this goat. Run, goat, run! And then present right now we have 3. The green woman. Interesting. I heard this is like the milk of life. There's a lot of like, I need to look up the pre-Celtic myths, legends, and shamanic druidism and paganism aspects of this. Very fascinating. Then we have 3 of stones. Creativity. Okay, so out of frustration, moving on towards creativity. Now, what is the relevance of this green woman? One moment, let me just see here. I think the green woman is like the Empress. Or is she the High Priestess? Let me just check. No, the High Priestess is a seer. So she's the Empress, I think. Let's see. It encompasses a female archetype of wildness and green energy. Her presence balanced that of the wild man, represents early manifestations of female solar energy and the rich bounty of the Great Mother. Okay, let's see. She mediates sacred blessing of earthly fertility and beasts that inhabit it. In Arthurian tradition, the Green Woman validates the kingship of Arthur by bringing him to the sacred sword, and establishes him as guardian of hollows of Britain, sometimes appearing as Lady of the Lake. There's a lot of other writing here. I'm trying to summarize. There's a blessing that comes with responsibility. So there's going to be rich, nurturing, and protection, learning, and initiation with loving, fertile relationships, both in a human aspect, universal, and everything else regarding the earth. Oh, this reminds me of the bushfires that definitely need taming. So this glorious, magnanimous, green woman, generous spirit can live through you, radiated by the sacred breath of life given to others who need guidance and healing. Learn from abundant joy, spirit of earth, and be at one with the world and true self. It references the flower bride as well, sought after by more than one of Arthur's great knights, offering deep bonds of matrimony and joy to those whom she shares her bounty. This is very interesting. Keywords: wild woman, mistress of the animals, Guinevere. Oh, also reference to other spiritualities like Egyptian, like Isis. She's also goddess Isis, Guinevere, universal mother, Maid Marian, mistress of animals. She's known as with different names. So I find her here embracing her creativity and being kind of embracing her wildness, free spirit, and just letting those restrictions fall away to be her true self. I feel like there's a lot of power in her as well that she's gathering. She's look at all this that she has. And this 5 of Arrows may be a moment of frustration. However, when we get past that moment of frustration, because 5 of Arrows is swords, so there could be some kind of conflict, not seeing eye to eye. The goat definitely not seeing eye to eye with this hunter that wants to get the goat. The goat just wants to run away. It could be a situation similar to what you guys are going through. But yeah, so definitely embracing the wellness, taking care of what we have, especially those connected with nature, our pets, our properties, our physical aspects as well. Being open to our emotions, and even if it is frustrating emotions, being open to also the good emotions and feeling the bad and understanding and acknowledging the bad emotions and allowing it to flow so that there will be blessings and creativity can come abound after we release and we feel and then release the negative emotions. Sometimes it's very hard. A lot of us stifle our emotions as well, and we don't nurture ourselves like we do. She's boiling a pot here. When you boil a pot, there's condensation, right? So I feel like it's kind of releasing as well any negative thoughts, aspects, and negative judgments of other people. I mean, come on, this goat is just wanting to live the best life, and this person is shooting dang arrows at it. Let him live the best life. I feel like we are a goat right now trying to overcome some kind of obstacles here, and we feel like we're just getting obstacle left, right, and center, and there's a moment to pause. It will be over soon. It just feels a bit crazy at this time, but just stay grounded, stay rooted. Do something that will calm you and your thoughts, and your mind, and your emotions. It's going to give you a bit of relief. You see, it almost feels like she's taking a deep breath. She's one with nature, and we definitely need to be more one with nature. Taking care of ourselves more better. We are also connected with nature, treating everything and everyone in the environment in a more better, resourceful, and gentler way, and definitely being in touch with something grounding. A lot of us are up in our heads, especially with this instant, messaging craze and gratification. We forget to stop and just feel the calm and the silence and being okay with that. A lot of us forget as well. We don't have to meditate in order to be self-aware, but it does help. You can do something very quietly almost, even doing the dishes, but in a really mindful way, paying attention to my sink look outlooks the window. So, you know, in the kitchen, you can just look out there and kind of take some moment, take some time for yourself. Because even my school is picking up pace and it's really, really rapid, really, really fast. And I just want to slow down. Like, oh my gosh. It is asking us to do that, I think. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to have to pull out the cards again for my WildWood Tarot deck. And I hope you liked this little review and flip through. Personally, I think it also gives very accurate readings. Like, again, you have to understand that there are some pagan symbols here in myth and legends, pre-Celtic myths and legends. So I think it's fascinating because I am expanding my spiritual side. So I'm very much drawn to nature themes. Let me know what you guys think if you have this book. It's just this guidebook, and as well as the tarot cards. I think they're both very lovely. I think it's worth way more than the price. So I love that it's accessible and very affordable. I'm holding on to this for sure. And I'm thinking of getting a cutesy happy tarot deck, or some oracle cards like Goddess Isis Oracle, Nature's Whispers, like I said, because of Josephine Wall's art, and like Brian Froud's Wild Fairy Oracles. So it sounds really fascinating. Okay, guys. Daisy, say bye. Say bye, Daisy. Bye, guys. Till next time.